Hello and welcome everyone to 2024. Welcome to Magical World Witchy World TV. I am Star Ravenhawk.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome, everyone, and Happy New Year. We are
Yeah.
excited. We are
Yes.
excited to welcome our guest for this week and the first of the year. And Star, who is
Yes.
it?
Now on with our show.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome Judy Ann Nock to the Magical Witchy World TV. So happy to have you here tonight.
Thank you for inviting me
Welcome
on.
and thank you for joining us. And again, Happy New
New
Year.
Year. Yeah.
We are excited to have you with us tonight and to open up this is actually also our second year, just about. I
Yes,
think
this is our
we're
second
going into
year.
our second year of Magical Witchy World TV. So let us introduce you to all of our people watching, whether live or in the playback. So I'm going to go through your bio first. So Judy Ann Nock is the author of the Modern Witchcraft Book of Crystal Magic, the Modern Witchcraft Guide to Magical Herbs, the Modern Witchcraft Book of Natural Magic, and the Modern Witchcraft Guide to Runes, and several other books on witchcraft. She has a Master of Science degree from CUNY City College of New York and a double bachelor's degree in creative writing and theater from Florida State University. Judy is a practicing witch and occultist with decades of experience in ritual magic. She has successfully used magic to elevate and illuminate her experiences in life. Judy is also a highly accomplished metalsmith, a graduate of the Gemological Institute of America, and a critically acclaimed musician. Excerpts of her book have appeared in Bust Magazine, Luna Magazine, Hello Giggles, Bustle, among others. Judy Ann Nock has been featured in interviews on Refinery 29, WBAI, Strong Island Radio, on numerous podcasts and YouTube channels. References to her work have appeared in Publishers Weekly, The Guardian, and The New York Times. Her books have been translated into French, German, Russian, and Polish and are enjoyed around the world. So, welcome, Judy. And now I have to just ask you, do you prefer Judy or Judy Ann?
You
I'd
know,
like to just,
that's a great question. I get that question a lot, and I'll just be
yeah.
honest. So I got two nicknames, right? I'm not
Okay.
Judith, just Judy, and then I got everyone's middle name, like in the world. And so I answer to both. I like them together because my philosophy is kind of like rock with what you got. That's a Patti
Yes.
Smith quote, which I love. I
Yes.
have a painting that says that on my wall. So it's my name. I use it.
Okay.
I love
Awesome.
it. I love that.
Okay.
So, yes, I will be saying Judy Ann because
Okay.
I like
There you go.
that. Awesome.
Okay. So and on with our time with our Q&A for Judy Ann. Okay. So
Yes.
if you kind of can go back a bit, just over the years, I'm sure you were referred to as many different titles or entitlement of different names or anything as you went through. Whatever you called yourself might be better too. So if you went through for that arc of what you called yourself and where you are now, and what you call yourself now.
Okay, so my birth name is Judy Ann Nock, and I used that pretty regularly up until I want to say like my late teens. And then I went through kind of an identity crisis, like when I went to college and I dropped um, my last name completely, and I just started going by Judy Ann. And then in my 20s, I got married and I took my husband's name. And so changing your name really has, especially for a woman, I think it has a huge impact on your identity. It's very, very
Mm.
difficult. You have to go to the Social Security Administration. You have to get a new driver's license. You have to update
Yep.
all your financials. So it's really quite a lot. And then he and I had we had a big kind of falling out over the witchy stuff because
Mm.
I was publishing my first book, and he was really like freaked out and said like,
Mm.
I don't want my name on that book. I already had a cover proof.
Oh,
Wow.
And yeah, think about that for a second.
yeah.
And so I was like, well, I was born with another name. And then as I got into the craft, we also have magical names that we only use,
Yeah.
like Coven Space. So that's the secret.
Yeah.
That one I'm not gonna broadcast.
No,
But
no, you don't have to.
and I think of like goddess archetypes that are known by 10,000 names, and I've had like at least four. You know, I've had like a couple alter egos as well. There was
Mm.
a cabaret group that I used to perform with called the Witcherly Sisters, and
Oh,
in the Witcher, yeah, that was fun. The
that's
the Witcherlys,
awesome.
I was known as Perlina. Um, I had another alter ego that I performed with, which was it's a little embarrassing. Like I'm not sure if I want to talk about
That's
that.
It's okay. You don't
okay.
have to. You don't have to.
There
Okay.
was a time where I was known as Crystal Moth, very
Oh, wow.
problematic through
Yes.
the length
Okay.
of time. And then my most recent like incarnation, I performed last month at the Bowery Electric as Intravenous.
Ah, okay.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Okay.
each name kind of represents like a different facet. So
Right, right. So what would you call yourself, or when you began? Were you Wiccan, witch? Because that's one of the things I've noticed people have done. They kind of, depending on where they are or their
Mm.
tradition that they went through, they're either Wiccan or they're a witch or they're a druid, and that's what they want to be known as. So
right.
we don't
So
presume, we kind of ask you.
that's a really good question because each of those things you just mentioned are very, very specific and very, very different
Different,
things.
yes.
Mhm.
I have kind of embraced like the umbrella of witch because it encompasses a lot of what I do. I
Mhm.
am heavily influenced by Wicca, but I was never initiated in that path.
Hmm.
So,
Mhm.
and this is problematic because when I started publishing, Wicca was like the buzzword that people
Yeah.
connected with
Yeah.
witchcraft, and a lot of the marketing stuff that came out, and a lot of the, when something's on the internet, you can't really erase it. Um, has me listed as like a Wiccan high priestess, which is like straight up not true.
Okay.
And that's because I'm not initiated
Mm.
through a Wiccan path. I was
Mhm.
initiated through an occult society.
Mhm.
It had a degree system. It had, uh, cycles and rituals and ceremonial magic. So I'm very, very well trained in all of
Mhm.
that stuff. But it's a non-denominational occult society. It's kind of like I kind of think of it as like along the same worldview as like Order of the Golden Dawn.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's very
Mhm.
Okay.
similar,
Right. Yeah.
and I've read a lot about that. I'm like, oh, this totally tracks.
Yeah.
But it's not Wiccan. There's a lot of Wiccans in it. Um,
But it's
the
definitely
rituals
not
I
Wiccan. Yeah.
do are so that's the
It's more on the high
honest,
magic side. Golden Dawn is more on the high magic.
very ceremonial,
It's
very
it's
very
very ceremonial.
ceremonial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I cut my teeth. Um, and I kind of moved up through the ranks. Like I did the year and the day, and then I did the priestess training, and then I elevated to like priestess maga, which is like a step above, which means like you're facilitating and then ordaining others. And then I became priestess hierophant, which means you can train other hierophants. So it's like one thing to train a priestess, and another thing to train a high priestess. And I
Mhm.
was doing that work like pretty, I would say like mid, like not large scale like starting what you do, but I would say kind of like mid range. We did a lot of stuff at like the LGBTQ center. We did a lot of stuff with like Open Center and a place like in the West 30s that I can't quite remember because it was a lot.
Yeah.
And then a lot of
Mhm.
stuff in members' homes. And then I fell out of that and kind of like turned my attention to writing about my experiences. And now I'm doing mostly solitary stuff, which is wildly empowering.
That's
Right.
fabulous.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love hearing the arc of that. But I'm going to ask if we could go backwards in time just a little bit further to what brought you to this work? What brought you to the world that you've been walking now for some decades? What was your entryway? What was when did you realize this was your path and this was the work you wanted to do
It was
as a magical
Catholicism
therapist?
and the Blessed
Mm,
Mother. So I went to Catholic school. My family is like considered like religiously mixed. My mom is Jewish and my dad is Catholic. So they have opposing worldviews. So
mhm,
I was brought up with this kind of nascent and inherent understanding that the world was full of contradictory worldviews. Right.
mhm,
So
mhm,
that was like a given in my initial understanding. And I would say that I came by it like quite honestly. I was fascinated with the image of Mary in my church. So even when I was
mhm.
like going back to like, I can remember, especially between the ages of 8 and 10 years old, when all the other kids were out at recess, I was in church at her feet, gathering up flowers, taking the eucalyptus plants out of my mother's bathroom and
Wow,
bringing offerings every day. And every day the
wow.
janitor would clean them up. Every day I would bring more. And I started noticing things: the crescent moon, the 13 stars, the snake that she's
Yeah,
standing on. And I had questions like, Sister Rosamelia, why is the Blessed Virgin Mother standing on a snake? And I was
yeah,
told, well, that's because Mary crushes evil, and the snake is the symbol of evil, and it's the devil. And I was just like, now, if you know Catholics, they do not shy away from the gore. Like I am five
right.
feet away from a pierced, bloody Christ corpse, and I'm noticing like the snake isn't crushed.
Yeah.
Mary's not crushing the snake. So when I was like a little girl, I was like, there's more to the story. So that led me
Mhm.
to the library, and I
Yeah,
consumed Greek mythology. I
yeah.
consumed it. So other girls were like playing Barbie, and I was playing like Athena with the helm and the aegis and the shield and the spear and the owl. And I was like all about like winged horses. Woo, let's go.
That
And
is fabulous.
I just like I couldn't get enough of it. And then as I got older and I met people that were doing things, like I had this sense that that Mary was going to like pleasant aromas. So I would like leave little bottles of perfume open. I put her on a
Mm.
mirror. I would put little rocks around. And when I found out that like that was a thing, it was like coming home. Like when I discovered the path and the craft, I was like, I know this in my soul from
Yeah.
ever since. Like this
That is
is
awesome.
who I am. This
There
feels
you go. There you
right.
go.
This feels
Awesome.
right. So
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So, from your point of view, not anyone else's, but your point of view, what does it mean to be a witch?
woman in total control of herself. Um,
Mm.
it's we don't bow to
I love that answer. I'm
authority.
sorry.
Yep, yep.
I forget where I first saw it. I wish I could credit it. I wish it was mine. But that's what it means to me. That's what it means
There
to
you
Yeah,
me.
go. There you go. To the point and direct. I love it. Okay.
that is fabulous. Right on. So, you've been living this, since you were a child, literally.
Literally, yeah.
So, how is magic a part of your life now? How do you include it? You mentioned you're practicing primarily solitary right now,
Yes.
that you find to be empowering. How is magic woven into your everyday?
So right now, I would say my main focus is like on contagion and imitative magic. That's what I'm working with the
Mm.
most. And I
Ooh.
kind of came to that path by wanting to change. Is like a lot of people attribute that word change to the root of the word like Wicca, right? Which is attached
Mhm.
to witch. So they say it means to bend or to change. And I was really
Right.
looking to change things. And I found that when I started crafting spells with a clear intention, that they were very effective, maybe not always in the way that I thought they were going to be, but that something
Mhm.
would happen. And I found that I was able to like successfully manipulate fields of vibrational energy, fields of electrical energy, making sure that a certain email went unseen, making sure that things that connected did connect in the way that I needed them to, sometimes making sure that things didn't connect. And, it's not like dramatic clap of thunder. Sometimes it is. But one of the best ways that I like to illustrate it is I've written a lot of books. I've written 6 books. Like that bio was almost like, it was a little embarrassing to hear. It's like already, so he's just like, it's just too much. And each one was, with the exception of this last one, each one was written during a time of really kind of like intense personal crisis. And magic saved my life at every turn. Like every time the universe went, beep, magic was there.
Right.
Magic was there. And I can, like, every single, if you look at my catalog, I just kind of want the world to know that I was destroyed at every time I stepped up to that plate. Every time I stepped up to the plate. The first book, the Grimoire, and actually really the first 2 saved me from like quite literal homelessness.
Wow.
Natural Magic. I got that contract when I had just lost a huge opportunity. I was unemployed and my husband left our household. After that came Magical Herbs. And right then I was in the middle of graduate school and an excruciating divorce. And then Runes came at the time of my husband's death. So each one is not, these are not small things. These are like, girl needed like money to live.
Yeah.
So I kept working and working and showing up when I really wanted to crumble. Crystal Magic was the one I was most excited about because it was like the first time I was able to write and explore where I didn't have a crisis going on. It was the first time when I didn't have a crisis going on. So that is like a book of pure joy and pure love. It is the most pure and positive thing I have ever done. So of all those books, I had one that took off. And that was Magical Herbs. So with like the Contagion on my altar, I was combining herbs and crystals. I was putting the books side by side. I was just, that let's get it together. I want this success. I want to replicate it with this. And then the most amazing thing happened. I had just passed like 2,000 reviews with the Magical Herbs book on Amazon, and it glitched and sent them all to Crystal Magic. So I had a new book that wasn't even released that had like 2,000 5-star reviews. And I was just like, that is awesome. That is so awesome because I had literally been putting those elements together. Borage and quartz, nasturtiums and carnelian, Amazonite and jasper and flowers and rosemary and everything that I grew, that I literally grew from seed, that literally came
that is
to flower.
fabulous.
Boom. Now, someone that I love dearly was like, that's not right, and went and reported it, so it's gone now. But it was a glamour. It's, you got to roll with it. It wasn't real. I was real. I went.
Yeah, I understand.
Fine. But that's just an example. So you asked, how do I do?
Yeah.
It's like combine. It's like elemental energy. It's earth energy. It's electrical energy. And then I've seen it. I've seen it in the real world. So it's just
you made it relatable. You made it relatable, and
I've got some screenshots, so it's not there anymore. But I can definitely.
At least you have.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have the evidence.
That's cool. That's cool how that works.
Okay. So, kind of tell us a little bit about what's become important to you, or what do you consider important?
Like in magic or publishing?
In general, with life and your magical world and all of it together, what's becoming? It could be just anything, actually, whatever you wish.
Yeah. Community, rebuilding community. The pandemic was devastating for a lot of us. The geopolitical situation in the world at large is like abominable. I would say, change one thing, change everything. We're always so concerned about how we impact the future. that I hope that we understand that the future is now and this is our
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and to be like respectful, positive, open-minded. Um, really hard as like a white woman to say those things because it's like my voice in terms of the world is well represented, and I just think I kind of sometimes feel like Crystal Magic might be like the last I do in this series because it's like, girl, it's enough, So I'm very, very conscious of like taking space and making space, trying to be a better listener and be like, part of the community. So
Right, right.
yeah,
That's
That's so that literally takes us to the next question, which
yeah,
is,
yeah.
what is, talk about community and what are the things within community, or perhaps even the work you're doing in community right now, or the ways you're helping to bridge or
Over
so
the
breathe life back into it.
yeah, fair question. So I'm operating in like a lot of parallel communities right now. So
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
are they're like coexisting currents that some of them cross and most of them don't, right? So I have
Hmm.
my parenting community, and we're concerned about our kids. We're concerned
Yeah.
about the fate of the world. We're concerned about the environment. We're concerned about composting, recycling. A couple years ago, I was able to take part in some large scale changes where I was part of a group of parents at my daughter's school that helped
Hmm.
launch that citywide composting plan. So we
Oh, I
started
remember
it
that.
at the schools.
Yeah.
That's a place where you can really impact like large amounts of people. And so I was
Hmm.
literally going there and like, this is gross, but like weighing the garbage so that we could make a pitch to the city about waste reduction. We went from 16 bags a day to one or two.
Wow.
And the
Fabulous.
side benefit of that was on the Upper West Side in the District 3, the rat population diminished greatly, which wasn't part of the goal. And
Wow.
then in my metalsmithing community, sustainability and ethical mining is top of mind. Like we talk about it
Mm.
constantly. How can we exist as artists?
Yeah.
And it connects to witchcraft because, we talk a lot
Yeah.
about, that, I mean, Crowley is problematic, but the tenet of and it harm none, do what you will, I
Mm.
think
Hmm.
that quote
Hmm.
is attributed to him. That gets, spoken about in the witchcraft circles a lot. So how do you do what you will and make sure you're not, harming
And that's
Right.
impossible.
minor.
I find
Right.
impossible, but
Right.
anyways.
Especially like, who am I to talk about, the
Mm,
power of crystals when that is an extremely destructive process? It's
Yes.
destructive.
Yeah.
So, like I wear this hammer because the hammer is like, Mjolnir is creation and destruction. So it's like a constant
Hmm.
reminder that, there's that duality and that complexity
Yeah.
in everything we do. In my musical community, oh my God, we show up for each other. We show up for each other. I'll go to like any
Yeah.
show in the city, and the whole audience is like, 20 bands. And I'm like, oh, I've seen you, I've seen you, I've seen you.
That
And
is
when I
awesome.
was younger, it made me a little uncomfortable because people used to kind of like, razz that a little bit, like, oh, is there anyone here that isn't in a band? I'm like, we are the scene. Like if we're not showing up for each other, you really think the public will? Like, come on,
Right.
get
yeah.
out there,
Point.
get out there. And then let's not forget about, our online community.
Yeah.
So there's some
Mhm.
people
Mhm.
that have been like so wonderful to me, like sharing the books and sharing reels. And it's like, I want to be that. I want to be that cheerleader, that person that makes everybody feel good. Everybody needs a little
Right
sunshine in their
on.
corner,
Yeah,
So it's
that's
like,
true. That's true.
Absolutely.
it costs you nothing to help somebody out. Think of like how good that feels when you're like, oh my
Yeah,
God, someone shoot a
absolutely.
shelf shot. Like
That's
I
so
live for
true.
that, because you feel seen.
That's
You feel
awesome.
seen, you feel appreciated. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
True.
actually a pretty good
That is
segue
true.
into the next question I had for you because and it might even be part of that answer. What would you like to see us as witches accomplish? Even though you're speaking about the musical part of it and other things, I think it all kind of interconnected, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
I would
Showing up.
like to see, yeah, I would like to see a little more acceptance.
Mm.
Like what a lot of times rises to the surface is I would say acceptance and respect, right?
Okay.
Acceptance and
Yeah.
respect. And I say that as a person who is like very much in the public eye. I have a new book out, so I'm trying to get attention for it. I said earlier that it was the first book that I wrote where I was able to express joy and love in a
Yes.
very pure way. And one of the first reviews that came out on Amazon, someone accused me of borderline toxic positivity. And I was just
Oh
like,
my goodness.
girl,
I've
do
never
you
heard of
know
that one.
what
Okay.
it
Wow.
takes for me to get up? Like, do you know how far I have been knocked
Yes.
down? To say that to me is just like, it's so disrespectful. You
Well,
know,
it's
so
not
it's
just
like,
that.
Yes.
yeah,
For,
we're coming from so many different places and so many realms of experience, like
Mm-hmm.
respect, accept, you know?
Yes.
And then there's a new feature on Google that I am not loving right now. So
what's that?
if you have like a panel, if you have like that notoriety that I seem to have attracted or accumulated, you get options if you search for something. And so it used to be like images, news, all. Now there's a new one called perspectives. And like one of the first thing that comes up is like an absolute roast. Like someone took the time to
Oh
make
my
a video, and
God.
I was just like, why is that first? Like,
Wow.
so that's like, you can't be too thin-skinned. You got to kind of like let it roll. But
Right.
ooh, it stings. I can't lie. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay, okay. Well, that's
why
because
is
you're
it
human. You're human,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculous that see that's the part that I find, and this is not a witchy community thing or anything. It's just a people thing recently, and it seems to be a more of a recent thing of where they feel that because they stand behind a camera,
Mm-hmm.
they're all entitled to be able to take down people. Somehow it's an entitlement that I need to be able to take down anyone on any level because my voice matters, and it does not matter what they are saying. And you kind of know
Yeah.
that if anybody does that to them, they'd be very highly upset, but somehow it's okay to do it to others. And I am
Yeah.
amazed at that, appalled at that. But
Well,
Appalled.
I
That's
don't
the
want to
right
shy
word.
away from like, criticality and discourse, but like I've had people like publicly speculating about a lot of strange stuff, and I was just like, um, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
Okay.
strange.
take a mile in my shoes and then you can
Well,
speak.
then
Kind of a
exactly.
thing.
Let's go to what's coming next.
Yeah.
You have the book that is coming out. Any other projects or things that you're thinking about doing?
I do actually. So thank you for that question because I got some big news
Yes.
today that I was really
Okay.
excited
All
to
Oh,
right.
share.
All right.
This
Share,
is
share,
breaking
share.
news.
breaking
Haven't told
news.
my daughter yet, so you'll be the first to hear it. But
Okay.
as a writer, I'm always looking at like how I'm doing. I did a big promotional tour this summer to try to get some attention behind the Crystal book. And today I was like kind of peeking to see if the results are in. I just passed 1,000 in sales, so that was felt really good.
Fabulous.
This is pretty
Yes.
new, and then I got word just a few hours ago that the German rights have been picked up. So I'm gonna have another
Oh,
40
nice.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Congratulations. That
Congratulations
is
on that.
I
Congrats.
huge.
Congrats.
started 2020 forward, and then I'm
Right
performing at a
on.
new venue. Ann Husick Presents is going to put me on at La Luncheonette down on Division Street on
Ah,
January
nice.
14th. So I'm going to be singing my heart out for whoever wants to listen.
Fabulous.
And then next month, I'm going to be in the studio with Psycho Positive, which is like one of my favorite bands that I play in.
Nice.
That is
It's gonna
that
be
is
books. It's gonna be
fabulous. Now I'm
music.
gonna
I am fresh from the bench. I was tinkering today, working on some metal projects, and my biggest fear is that I'm not going to live long enough to execute all the ideas I have because today was just like pow, pow, pow. Next month, I'm
you
also doing
know,
WitchCon. I'm going to be back at WitchCon teaching like crystal matrices and things.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. We're doing
uh,
that as well. That's
yes.
awesome. That's awesome.
I can't wait to see you there. That's a wild party.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, last time I saw you, we were at like a round
Excellent.
table with
I know, right?
YouTube.
We were at a party in the West Village
Yeah,
on
that was
West
so
Third
good.
Street. So that's
That's
awesome. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So what, and I know you mentioned some of the events already that you're going to be have coming up, but do you have any other events that you have coming up this year, or are you thinking of possibly doing?
Well, I'm going to be back at Hex Fest for sure. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what 2024 has in store. Right now, it's
Yeah.
like a new venue, new foreign edition, a new album, and then then the con scene. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
It sounds as though the year is already
Taking off
you
to a
already
great
have
start,
lots of
right?
things on the agenda.
I have
So
some goals,
so
that's for
I want
sure.
Oh, that's good. That's
for
good.
this year, for things to do this year.
Yeah,
Right on.
yeah. So I'm hoping to be at Comic Con this year too.
So am I.
So
Oh my gosh. That's
yeah,
so
Yeah,
you want to
funny.
do
that's
Yes,
a
yes,
panel?
it.
Should we do a
yes.
panel? Let's pitch a panel. You want to pitch
That
a
is so
panel?
funny. Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna be at Simon and Schuster
Pitch a
cruise.
panel.
Doing
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Let's
So funny.
manifest that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
M
keep our fingers
make
crossed.
it
I want to
so.
be at Comic Con this year to myself.
Yeah.
Right, Rhonda? We're gonna
Right
go for that.
on.
We are going for that.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
yes.
it.
Okay.
So we are scrolling your author's page on Simon and Schuster, but are there other areas, social medias, anything that we should be sharing with everyone so they know how to find you?
Whoa. Sure. I'm super easy to find on Instagram a lot, and here, like on Facebook, and that's pretty much it. It's really embarrassing to admit, but since we're being real, you know which platform I have the
Yeah.
most followers on?
Which
Amazon.
one?
Really?
Hey, that is
Amazon.
so true. Yep,
Wow.
that is so
It's
true.
so messed up.
And
It's so messed up. Like
yeah,
I was looking at
well,
my
you
author
know,
portal, and I was just like, it made me breathe in through my teeth a little bit. I was like, not what I hoped for, but
well,
It'll get
well,
better.
that
Things will
listen,
get better. This year has a lot in store for all of us. So kick ass, take
right
names, and
on.
everything else this year. It'll be good. All right. We thank you so much,
Thank you
Judy,
so
Judy
much.
Ann, for
thanks for
being with us,
having
here with
me.
us tonight. This was nice. We'd love to have you back sometime.
It was fabulous.
Thank
Absolutely.
you,
And
Rhonda.
I am excited to see if I'm going to have to now scope out some of your metal smithing and
Yes.
all of the things that you've
Yes.
been doing.
Yes.
Ooh, you
Uh,
want to see the biggest and baddest? I have some right here. I'll show you the
When you
biggest
said
and
it,
baddest.
you would not
yeah.
believe what I thought of when you said metal smithing.
The
Oh God,
Witchblade.
then you going along the line. I thought of
How
a sword. I was like, she could make me a sword.
This is this
that
is
is
a this is
amazing.
sterling silver, so it's like extravagant. This one I call as above, so below.
Yeah.
So you can see like the
Yes.
hilt. So we've got
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
faceted hematite in the blade, sterling rivets, it's oak handle, and then a double terminated quartz in the pommel.
Nice.
So the blade
That is
tang hilt
stunning.
rivets are so this is it's
Appropriately named with the way it's as above and so below the
Yes.
way it's curved. There you
so
go.
that's
Appropriately
just me
named
showing
for
off.
real. That
Thank
is
you so much. Thank you.
beautiful. That is
I
beautiful.
like it when
No,
the
thank you
witchblades
so
get some
much.
love. When the witchblades get the love like that. So
And
Yeah,
rightly
that
so.
is stunning. We really appreciate you
thank you,
joining us
Rhonda.
tonight. Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on year 2. That's
Thank
awesome.
Yes,
you.
I
Yes,
wish you
thank
thank you
you.
so much. That's awesome. We will bid you farewell.
Thank
And now,
you.
for everybody else,
All right.
a word from our sponsors.
All right, we are back 2024 for the astrology time. And 2024 is predicting to be lots of major breakthroughs for every zodiac sign this year. So let's begin.
Yes.
2024 is brimming with important once in a lifetime astrological events from Pluto moving into Aquarius to a rare Chiron North Node conjunction, to the much anticipated Jupiter Uranus conjunction in Taurus. In general, it promises to be a year not to be forgotten, to be very remembered. With Mercury stationing
Mhm.
direct on January 1st, you would see where it began. Okay. The cosmos are making it clear that 2024 is the year that starts off strong and brings tons of forward momentum. As Judy Ann said earlier, she said, was that 2024 forward?
Twenty
I
forward.
believe
Twenty
that she was
twenty
saying
twenty
that's
forward.
2020 forward, right? So that's exactly
Mhm.
what it's going to be doing. It's going to be that it's a stark contrast to 2023, which was an introspective year filled with learning from mistakes and letting go of the past. With red hot Mars entering Capricorn, its zodiac sign of exaltation, on January 4th,
Mhm.
you're starting off the year with your head held high and your situation and your intuition sharpened to a scorching degree. At a collective in general, the focus transits of all the different transits from tangible and material concerns to intellectual exploration, innovative ideas, and social connections. So, coming up on January 20th, one of the biggest things will occur when Pluto, the planet of generational growth and rebirth, will enter Aquarius. Pluto will leave Capricorn hand in hand with the Sun to mark the transition with a bold statement. The Sun and Pluto
Mhm.
literally conjunct at 29 degrees 59 feet at the very last frontier of Capricorn. Okay, the king is dead. Think long live the king. Okay,
Mhm.
we had a taste of Pluto in Aquarius last year as it began in March 2023. Then it retrograded back into Capricorn on June 11th, where it spent the remainder of the year tying off loose ends in a chapter of our history that still has unfinished business. In 2024, Pluto will remain in Aquarius until it retrogrades back into Capricorn on September 1st. During this 9-month long period, Pluto will be encouraging us to fight for Aquarian themes, such as think humanitarian type of things, social justice, and community endeavors. So, a lot of those things that we were talking about in the interview earlier. So some of those things are what we are all going to be working on because we are in that Aquarian theme time. Okay. Pluto will be digging in and out of Aquarius, but this slow moving outer planet is gearing all of us up for a major shift by rearranging the social hierarchies that structure our society. Make no mistake, revolutions are underway, believe me. Okay. And we have all been feeling it all the way through
Mhm.
2023, believe me.
Yeah.
And we will re-enter Aquarius for good on November 19th. At that time, power will be seen gradually being taken away from all those, I guess you'll call it dictatorial type overlords, and slowly but surely return to the people. Something that we need to do, kind of bring them down to earth. The North Node of Destiny continues its tour through passionate, motivated, and highly independent Aries, driving us to fight for our dreams, leave behind unfulfilling partnerships, and stand up for ourselves. With the South Node of Karma continuing to shed away the past in Libra. This year is about letting go of the instinct to compromise your values for the sake of keeping the peace. Bottom line is no more Mr. Nice Guy or Nice Girl, okay?
I like
Or
that.
nice anything. Go for
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that. It's being real, keeping it
yeah,
real.
yeah.
So on February 19th, now we're in the month of February again. On February 19th, the North Node joins forces with Chiron in Aries, hastening the healing process, helping us to come to terms with all the changes that have unfolded so far and what will continue to unfold this year. Not only are you demanding more of what you deserve, but you're healing the wounds of your childhood by being the leader and protector you've always needed. Stop expecting something from those that let you down and start becoming your own guardian. empowerment. Yes, an important and rare North Node conjunct Chiron that conjunction occurs at 16 degrees Aries, and coupled with the star transit Jupiter conjunct Uranus, will set the stage for transgenerational healing and exciting opportunities in the
Wow.
Taurus sector of all our charts. That's awesome. Chiron is our deepest wound and the gift that emerges when this wound is embraced and alchemized. Our deepest wound is rarely something we are aware of, at least fully aware of. So, our deepest wound is subtle. We were born with it. In most cases, it can be traced generations back. So, having this generational healing is important. The North Node is a karmic energy, not the type that does the resurfacing of old patterns. No, that's the South Node. So when the North Node meets Chiron, we're given a unique opportunity to look at these wounds from a different angle and rewrite our karmic patterns. The opportunity to change or rewrite or create our own destiny. So that's the opportunity we're talking about. Big deal. Excuse me. This time we can truly break the cycle and take things into our own hands. 2024 is marked by an important elemental shift. Pluto will move from the Earth sign Capricorn and into Aquarius from January 2024 through September 1, 2024, and again from November 19th, 2024, and will stay there all the way through to March 8th, 2043.
Wow.
So
That's
then
long.
we get jump into March real quick. March 25th, 2024, there will be a South Node full moon lunar eclipse at 5 degrees Libra. Mercury also goes retrograde in fire signs, except the August retrograde, when Mercury starts its retrogression in Virgo, but spends most of its time in Leo. It's one of the distinctive patterns of the Mercury cycle to retrograde in the same element for approximately a couple of years before moving into another element. Mercury retrograding cycles moving from earth to fire suggest that our focus is now less on everyday life stuff and resources, earth, and more on existential questions like who I am, who am I? Why am I here? What's my true potential? Where's my true place in life? This shift to the fire element encourages us to explore our inner world and reconnect with our vision and spiritual purpose.
And I'll pick
Big
up
deal.
and basically say in 2024, we will see three of the annual Mercury retrogrades that will be happening. The first one begins on April 2nd, retrograding through April 26th from 27 degrees Aries to 15 degrees Aries. Then on April 8th, the North Node total solar eclipse at 19 degrees Aries, which will conjunct Chiron. It will be the beginning of spring, not only bringing in fresh flowers, but also new beginnings in love, life, career, and money. April 20th to
Mm,
the 21st, Jupiter will conjunct Uranus 21 degrees Taurus, which is an exciting transit in itself. Okay, because I want you guys
mm,
to think about a few things. Jupiter is the great benefic, bringing opportunities for growth and expansion. Uranus is the planet of progress and surprises. So, yay, us. The last time they met was in 2011, and their next meetup is
mm.
not until 2037. So, think about how far that is ahead. They will travel through all of the zodiac signs, and this time they're joining forces in Taurus. And the reason that's a big deal is because Jupiter Uranus conjunction occurs, let's see, once every 13 to 14 years, and the only time it's happening in Taurus is during once in our lifetime. It has not happened before in our lifetime. So that's a
Mhm,
huge deal. So Jupiter conjunct Uranus promises to bring a very exciting opportunity in the Taurus sector of all of our charts. So no matter what, it's going to affect you. There's something magical about this transit because Uranus brings the excitement element, and Jupiter suggests that while we may not anticipate what Uranus has in store for us, it most likely will be something absolutely positive. But what I like most about this transit is that Venus also gets involved. Approximately 1 month
Mhm.
after Jupiter meets Uranus, Venus joins in and conjuncts both Jupiter and Uranus, and activating some really once in a lifetime type of opportunities. And if that was not good enough news for you, Jupiter also sextiles Saturn in Pisces. Great, great transits. Of course, just because a transit looks great on paper does not mean everyone will win the lotto. But that kind of suggests to you guys get your tickets, people. I
Yes.
honestly never remember to buy tickets. I never
Get your
remember until I
ticket.
go, oh, I should have done this. And then I see what the number I thought I was going to win. I'm like, damn it.
Mm,
I'm
see?
always late with thinking of it. But, anyways, but the Jupiter Uranus conjunction will definitely spark new beginnings. So, marking 2024 a year of abundance, power, success, but also hard work. So, think of it in terms of numerology. Let's see. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 adds up to an 8. And in
Mhm.
numerological terms, or speaking, the number 8 is considered the most transformative number of them all. And this year, you have the potential to manifest something you've always wanted. But that doesn't mean it won't require plenty of discipline in order to bring your visions to fruition. Luckily, you have the promise of passion, motivation, and inspiration on your side, as Mercury will retrograde through fire signs this year and increase your desire to win, forcing you to push even harder on that gas pedal. All right.
So much so much
I
going on
know, I
this
know. It
year.
all is
Okay.
very, very, very
Yes.
fruitful. I love it. I love it.
Yes. So now with Jupiter, planet of faith and expansion joining forces with Uranus, the planet of sudden change and innovation at exactly 21 degrees Taurus. It brims over with prosperity, catapulting things forward. Again, that 2020 forward. You're
Yep.
stepping into a pair of shoes you were born to fill. Blessings are on their way. Hold on to them and claim them with all your heart. If you have planets or angles around 21 degrees in Taurus or Cancer or Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces, you will likely experience the positive manifestations of Jupiter conjunct Uranus. If instead you have planets or angles around 21 degrees in the other fixed signs, this powerful transit might challenge you at first. It's not that the developments Jupiter and Uranus bring are not positive in essence, but it may not feel that way at first because, change is not always easy, especially for fixed signs, especially
Yeah.
for fixed
Believe
signs.
me, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Whatever happens, yeah, yeah. Whatever happens or doesn't around the time of this conjunction, pay attention to any messages or downloads you receive. There will be opportunities, but you have to seize them and say yes to them. All right, come May 3rd of this year, Pluto makes it to the second degree of Aquarius. It will then turn retrograde. This alignment will skyrocket you toward the future, prompting you to say yes to surprise opportunities that could potentially take you all the way to the top, bringing with it unexpected and exciting developments like financial windfalls, career promotions, and new relationships that take shape over the course of the next 14 months. Because because of this Pluto will because of the fact that Pluto is in Aquarius until September 1st, 2024, then it retrogrades for the last time in Capricorn. So we have May 18th, 24, Sun conjunct Jupiter at 28 degrees Taurus. May 23rd, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter at 29 degrees Taurus. And then finally, the 24th, we have Jupiter sextile Neptune at 29 degrees Pisces.
Yeah. And then,
Things to note on your
yeah,
calendar.
right, right. May 25th, Jupiter will conjunct Pluto and will enter Gemini. The last weeks of Jupiter stay in Taurus and are filled with possibilities and positive influences, but the good news doesn't end there. On as it continues on May 25th, Jupiter moving into Gemini and immediately forms an auspicious time with Pluto in Aquarius. favoring air related activities like communication, information, or social connections. This Jupiter Pluto trine creates a fertile ground for exchanging ideas, networking, and expanding intellectual horizons. If you dream Jupiter, dream big Pluto, and make sure you don't keep this vision for yourself. Share it. Geminis love to talk. Okay.
Mhm.
Jupiter in Gemini in general is a transit that favors communication and social activities. Now that you've built something great with Jupiter and Uranus, in Taurus, it's time to articulate your vision and share your ideas. Let it go under wind and out into the universe and the ether and let it spread its wings. It's incredible how much farther you can go with a little help from your friends. All of those things in the
Mm.
cosmos, right? The succession of
Yep.
these aspects is very interesting. Normally, we wouldn't pay much attention to short lived transit like Sun or Venus conjunct Jupiter, but since these occur at the same time with other important transits like Jupiter conjuncting Uranus, Jupiter sextile Neptune, or Jupiter trine Pluto, we are talking now about multiple Jupiter transits happening at once. The
Mm.
interplay of these transits amplifies their individual impact, adding context and significance to otherwise more generic influences. This time it gets personal. So
Mhm.
think of everything for yourself, everything for what's around you, the people around you. All of it is personal, whether you think it is or not. Because personal does not mean just all selves, it means everything within your sphere. Okay, you'll begin to notice that 2024 is all about Jupiter, right? You guys heard us mention a lot of Jupiter going on there, the largest planet in our solar system. And it rules two important things: our beliefs, example, how we make sense of the world, and two, the world itself, our
Mm.
social circles, our neighborhood, those groups of people that define our sense of belonging. Jupiter is how we fit or we don't in the
Mhm.
world. With that in mind, you will see questions and belonging around belonging, social aspirations of finding our tribe, like minded people will become more important than ever this year. We're going to
Yes.
end it there tonight with the astrology, and we'll pick up the other half next, what is it, the 12th? Next week on
Yes.
Friday.
7. Yes.
Okay, it'll be
Yeah.
so we'll see you guys then with it. But that's a lot of information there for the
Yes.
year.
To
Starting off.
get us started into 2024.
Yes,
Now
yes,
we need to look at the cards.
yeah. All right. So, what I want you guys to do, you are going to shuffle your deck, and when you're shuffling that deck, I want you guys to think of all the things that I kind of mentioned, if you could remember them all. But Jupiter plays a big part. So think about all of
Mm.
that as you're shuffling that deck, because what you want to do is to draw three cards. What went past for you in 2023? What is present right now for you? And what do you have coming up for yourself? What do you see coming up? Because there's a lot that's
Mm.
going to be offered to you guys this year, and a lot of it is based on, yes, it's going to come at you, but are you willing to accept it? If you don't accept it, it will right past you, go right past you. Think of that umbrella that it's
Mhm.
raining and it's showering all that goodness at you. You put an umbrella up and it just rides past you and says, well, okay, I guess you didn't want any helping or blessings. So think of it like that. So
I'm paying
again,
attention.
three cards, okay? Past, present, and future.
And
Okay, so what have you got, girl?
past is the Hierophant.
Huh, okay.
Interesting. Present is 5 of Cups. Interesting. And the future is 10 of
All
Wands.
right.
Well,
Ooh.
what is that telling me?
Oh,
Well,
lots of
that's,
good stuff as far as I can see.
like yeah, I look at the Hierophant and I think, okay, that for me is just recognizing coming from a place of, all right, we needed to have some structure, we needed to have some guidance, we need to have some leadership, and I'm all about that. Let's take the guidance and the leadership. That's fine, but where does it leave me? And this is important that I recognize. 5 of Cups is and we're dealing with 2 fives here, so I just want to make note of that. 2 fives. Fives, of course, can be considered a challenge, can be considered our challenge cards. But when I look at this 5 of cups here, it reminds me that flow is important, that it's not about staying stuck and recognizing the challenges, because 2023 was a challenging year. This is my note to self: bless and release. Let it go. That was the past, and that's not where I stand now. I have to let it go
Yes.
and pick up and move forward.
Yes.
And, you know, past, present, future. Future is saying I'll be digging in and going full bore at
Yeah.
something, but I also have to make conscious consideration or be careful not to allow myself to get overburdened and overconsumed in the things that I'm passionate about. I'll handle it, but I can't get overburdened by them. That is a really important message as well for
Yeah.
me, because that is actually a conscious decision I've made for this year, is to not overtax
Yep.
myself,
Okay.
not burning myself out.
Let it flow. Let go and let flow, kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's
All right.
exactly
For
right.
me, my past is the, what is this one? The Nine of Wands. Okay. And if you look
Mm,
at her, for her, it's just like my past has been a lot of things that I have a lot of things lined up and a lot of things I'm thinking about. That's just always been me. I have a
mm-hmm.
lot of things that I want to do and accomplish. And yeah, you do feel like, am I going to be able to accomplish all of these things, because I've got so many things in different pods and going on. And um, I'm still kind of seeing myself as that person that's steady forward, keep going with it. You'll get some of these things accomplished. Then the present is the Eight of Wands. That's interesting because the
Wow.
past was the Nine of Wands and
Yeah.
Eight of Wands. So it's kind of whittling down the thing that my choices, and is, at least that's the way I'm seeing it. Like it's showing
Mhm.
a way clear with many things that they feel like that needs to go forward, that needs to thread the needle with, and like I'm gonna have to let go of a couple of things to be able to push everything else through for this year, because
Mhm.
I want to conquer the world this year.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
want to do
Mhm.
things. I want to step outside the box and do some other things, and not stay within that box of the community itself that we have here, and step out of it, create a different sets
Yeah.
of communities. So that's what this means to me. And then the future is, we would not believe this, the Eight of Cups. And if
Oh.
you look at it, okay, again, it can be seen as challenging because it's right by the waters of the cliff, and the waters are coming in heavy and everything. But it's, to me, it's so funny. I look at it as it's challenging, but it's challenging with many offers, many things that's coming at me, and it's a matter of choices. Again, to me, it feels like that whole Jupiter thing happening and the trines, Uranus and
Mhm.
everything, and it's saying I'm one of the fixed signs. So it's gonna feel like it's challenging, and like, all these things that being in the way, but at the same time, the
Yeah.
offers, the offers of different things. To
Yes.
me, it's saying, because it's offers, and it's telling me that I'm up for the challenge. That's the way I see it. I'm up for it, and
Mm.
I'm gonna face it head on, because I'm optimistic, because numerologically speaking, and everything else I know astrologically speaking, 2024 is going to rock, fucking rock, like
It's a
crazy,
good.
with things of prosperity and manifestation, and making things happen. And a lot of it is me just
Mhm.
saying, I'm gonna step out the box and I'm gonna approach anybody. You can always tell me no, but I'm still gonna ask. And and
Yep.
so far, every single thing I've asked for since January 1st, even when I said, I know you don't normally do this because you've said that, but I'm asking anyways. Can I do this? And then they go, well, let me get back to you. And then they came back saying, yeah, we can do this at this. And I'm like, yeah. See, if I didn't ask, it would have been, I would have ended up paying whatever. And instead,
Closed
I'm paying
mouth don't get
way
fed.
less. So I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
Challenge accepted.
It's a beautiful card,
I
and
love
just
it. I
noting
love
that
it.
it is an 8, and you have 2 eights in your spread,
I have,
correct?
yeah,
2,
Eight of
and we
Wands and
are
Eight
in
of
an
Cups.
8 year, and we're in an
Eight,
8
yeah,
year. 8 year,
numerological.
and
Yeah, I
for
can't even say the bloody word. Yes,
numerologically.
there you go.
Yes, 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 yes.
And I see it as challenge has been accepted.
Yeah. And I want to make mention because we hadn't spoken about it, and I did peep a little bit on it last time we were all together, that this is the year of eight.
Yes,
It is
yes.
the
And
year
we said
of,
that in the reading too, the astrological readings. We said it's the year of the eight.
yes, it's the year of strength.
Yes.
So this is another thing that we'll need to talk about at some point, and that is, what does this mean for us as we move into the year? We just left the year of the chariot, which was an interesting
Yeah.
year. This is what we just came out of with 2023, but now we're in the year of strength. And what does that mean? Yeah, it means internal strength. It means lots of things. And we'll have to talk about that at some point
Yeah, we
too.
will be because we're
But
going to be doing a tarot for the year
hey,
as well. So we have a lot of things coming up astrologically speaking. So you guys are going to look
right
forward
on.
to a lot of great stuff. Okay.
Excellent.
So
So,
we wanted to thank Judy Ann Knock for being with us tonight so much. We
yes,
really enjoyed
yes,
having her with us, and we can't wait to have her back another time. And
a
what else we
great
have got coming up for
discussion.
the 12th?
Well, we have on the 12th Diotima Mantanitsa. I am butchering. I like to say it that way because I know it sounds Mantanitsa. But Diotima is going to be with us on the 12th, and I'm looking forward to. I
Yes.
love her conversations. Oh my
Yeah.
God, love her conversations.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to that as well. And of course, what else do we have to say, Star?
Yes. We're going to have you to please like, subscribe, share, and
Yes.
please view the videos. Give us some ideas, thoughts. We love having your ideas of anybody else we'd like to interview and bring on the show. And we want to wish you all again a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year.
Yes. Many blessings to you all. Thank you all again for
See you
joining us
guys on
this
the
week.
12th. Yay!
We'll see you next week. Have a great week
Yes.
ahead.